it's some things I want to talk about because I only have capacity to do Monday through Friday. And I have a special show that's lined up, especially with regard to Shanquella Robinson tomorrow. But it's some things that I want to talk about, right? And the first thing that I want to talk about is Monique. Now, for a lot of you people that is not familiar with my history of having these conversations, I was one of the people as a live streamer that did not appreciate the idea that Monique was running in the female victim Olympics in order to try to justify Netflix giving her 5, 10, $20 million. And she was trying to say that she was on the same level as Dave Chapelle, Chris Rock, all of the legends. All of the legends, right? Now, this is a twofold conversation that we're about to have right now. And the reason that it's a twofold conversation is because me and Rita was sitting here the other day and I'm working on a computer. Then I give her the remote control. Oh, and I can't believe that I gave her the remote control. But I give her the remote control because I'm actually looking at y'all on the 85-inch right now. I give her the remote control and I said, find something interesting for us to be able to have on in the background while me and you are working right here in this great space, right? And she says, okay. And so she opens up Netflix and she says, oh, Monique got a new special. I said, what? She said, yeah. Monique got a new special. And I said, okay, well, she fought with D.L. Hughley and she went on Steve Harvey's show and she tried to hold him accountable and she kept saying, baby. And she was calling her man daddy and she kept doing all of these hit pieces and saying, who the fuck is y'all and baby, what the fuck? And she said fuck about literally 1,000 times on her special. But I sat there and I watched a lot of it. I didn't watch all of it. I couldn't stomach it. And she talked about her being in, they said she was retarded in school. Shout out to you. I'm looking at all of the super chats, right? I'm still going to be I'm capturing every single super chat today, right? And I said, all right, let me give it a chance. Let me see what the queen of comedy is all about, right? And let me just say this, because I am going to play a clip in which she talked about how she gay, all right? We're going to talk about that. But let me just say this. This is my honest to God, objective opinion on exactly what this special was on Netflix. I think that Netflix should sue Monique for extortion, reparations, vandalism, assault for our ears, and highway robbery. Shout out to Spencer Campbell. I appreciate you. I'm definitely coming back. Listen. Rita Q in the chat asking you if it was funny. It is on Netflix. Rita, what was your assessment of this? Rita said it was terrible. It was terrible. I mean, the jokes were predictable. Half of it wasn't even jokes. She tried to use a whole lot of cussing and curse words and then use her way of talking around and saying, yeah, I had to get here and fight my whole life. And she did the whole Color Purple thing. And I'm telling you that it was terrible. Terrible. I don't know how much money Netflix gave her, but I'm telling you, Netflix needs to take that hold of court. There's no way in the world. Shout out to Executive Suite, Emily, and Jay Mills. There's no way in the world that she should have gotten $500,000 for that, let alone the millions of dollars that she continued to extort Netflix over. Y'all are the worst. Y'all are the worst. And I'm going to tell you why y'all are the worst, because it was a lot of y'all that was sitting here arguing with me talking about how Monique deserved to be able to have a Netflix special. Now, let me take y'all back a little bit, right? Because the way that men and the men of comedy in these spaces, the way that they go about doing it is they work their ass off. They start off in the comedy club, no matter how big they are. Shout out to Carl Styles. I'm definitely going to be reading super chats throughout the show. Thank y'all for all of the birthday love. They start off in the comedy clubs and they work they set out and they have dudes critiquing them, and then they work it all the way up into the theaters, and then eventually they get over into selling tickets over into the arenas, and then eventually they get the bag from Netflix because they've proven themselves, so on and so forth. But she just woke up and said, I can't believe that y'all not giving me a whole lot of money as a result of it. And I said, okay, I'm glad that eventually somebody gave her an opportunity to put a special out. She could have put a special out on anywhere. She could have went to HBO, Showtime. She could have put a special out on YouTube and let the people decide. She could have put a special out on Patreon. But no, she continued to extort Netflix. And listen, I'm telling you, in my honest to God opinion, it was terrible. Terrible. Horrible. Not funny. Looking to laugh, not funny. And you can even hear the groans in the audience of the people when she would drop a punchline, and it would be silent. Silent. Let me share with you also some of the egregious shit that she was saying on her special. Let me share with you guys. I don't want you to be left out by yourself.
My heart is racing so fast because this is the first time I was getting ready to say it out loud to anybody. I said, Daddy, I want to be with another woman sexually. And he looked at me so beautifully and so patient and so loving.
Now, who can't see the punchline coming on this joke, y'all? Just honest. Shout out to Coder Combos. Who can't see the punchline coming on this one? I didn't even get to this part of the special. Who didn't see the punchline coming on this one?
And said, bitch, me too. You said you find that bitch and we will fuck that bitch together. He said, is that what's been fucking with you all these years, bitch? He said, pussy is amazing. I was like, nigga, for real. He said, bitch, go get you some pussy. To myself, I must keep it a fantasy. I must keep it a fantasy because I know me. And they would talk about me in the LGBTQ community. They would talk about me and they would say, that bitch fights for equality, but that bitch ain't willing to give equality. Because after you lick me, bitch, thank you. You want some coffee or something? No, ma'am, no, ma'am, no, ma'am. Don't you put your pussy, no. Well, Monique, I did you, bitch, and thank you. You is kind. You is smart. You is important.
Can you imagine having to take your significant other? Can you imagine having to take your significant other to a Monique show? Honestly, can you imagine sitting there? And that is the Netflix special. That means that it was a bunch of bad jokes possibly that was worked out at other shows. That's highway robbery. That's honest to God highway robbery. I do a better stand-up and special here on a Millionaire Morning Show on a daily basis. I come up with better material on a daily basis than she was able to come up with as a queen of comedy on a Netflix. But listen, if this is what we doing out here, I think I could be a comedian. I'm about to do my own stand-up. I think I can be a comedian. Now, I know for a fact that Charleston White is way funnier than her. Way funnier than her. His shows be having people laughing and rocking. And as a matter of fact, we actually putting together a show for him here in Detroit. But I'm trying to tell you that, man, listen. This equality shit is getting out of hand. This entitlement shit is getting way out of hand. Way out of hand. It's out of control, y'all. We got to do better. And we can't just let people run in the Victim Olympics and bully their way to a bag and let that be the end of the conversation. I'm a Netflix investor. I feel like I was duped as a shareholder for Netflix for whatever it was that they gave her. Only women, specifically black women, can protest their way to a bag. I've never seen this happen in my entire life. Only women, specifically black women, not even white women, only black women can protest their way to a bag and don't even deliver. Again, I think that she should be sued for highway robbery, extortion, assault with a deadly joke, and every single thing that you can think of. They need to throw the book at her and make her give a refund to every single person that watched that special. And then they had the nerve to have it up on the front page. I said, why is Netflix recommending this to me? And then you notice she had to throw the gay joke in there. Man, get the fuck